Hi y'all, I'm back. Okay, so the last time that I made a video was right before I went to StitchCon. And then I got back and I just got really busy with everything. I mean, busy and lazy. I always feel like so not put together when I make these videos. Most of the time, I don't have any makeup on, or my hair needs to be washed, or I have a baseball cap on. And I look at all these other videos and everyone looks to be so made up. But in all honesty, I don't like get dressed every day. I don't do that stuff. I'm not working now. I say I'm retired, but if I have to go somewhere, I'm like usually getting dressed really fast and I'm like out the door. Because my schedule is like I get up and then I'll stitch in the morning, and then I usually don't even like shower or put any makeup on until after I work out, which is, it depends like on my mood for that day. I don't have a schedule. I don't have a schedule for anything. And it's kind of nice, but then also it's not nice. Like I think I'd get more done if I was on a schedule. Anyway, that's enough about that. But so I don't make a video. I haven't made a video because, well, I got back from StitchCon and there was just a lot of videos going about StitchCon, and I didn't really feel like I had much to add to it. It had all been kind of the same stuff. And so this isn't going to be a video about it's going to be a video a little bit about that at the beginning, and I'll tell you in just a minute. But anyway, then we went on vacation for like 2 weeks, and then then another weekend we had to help my son move out of his house in college and into his new apartment. And it's just been a lot. And then on the other weekends or other times during the week, I've just been, I guess I just rather stitch than make a video. So I decided that today was the day that I was going to do it. And one of the reasons why is because I've been stitching, but my neck is starting to bother me. And I think it has a lot to do with I'm just sore because I worked out like my arms, because I just haven't been doing it very long. Started using, adding like weights into my workout just because I want to be stronger, and like just because I'm getting older and I feel like it'll benefit me like later on down the road, and now, but later on. And so I feel like I'm sore like in my shoulders and in my neck and things. I'm trying to stretch out, but so I decided that I was going to stop stitching for a little bit, and then I'm just going to make this video. Okay, so well, let's go back to the very beginning, or back to the last video. I made it right before I went to StitchCon. I told everyone how nervous that I was, and excited but nervous because I'd never been on a retreat before. And everyone was very encouraging, and that was all great. So I'm just gonna sum up my StitchCon experience and say it was great. I had a good time. There was a lot of people there. I met a lot of people that I watch on FlossTube. I met a lot of people that don't have FlossTubes, but that are on Instagram. And I saw some people who I've been watching for a very long time that I wanted to meet. And it was great. It was a great time. I did not get COVID. I had already had it before, like twice, really. So, and I had my vaccinations, and I had my booster, but I didn't get it. So, I mean, I don't think I did. I came home and I didn't feel all that great, but I thought I was just tired, and I took 2 tests and they were both negative, and then I felt better. So, you know, that's, I'm going to say that I didn't have it. And, I want to, talk about a few people that I met at StitchCon that I really like. I feel so like privileged and honored to have met these people. And I'm not going to go into this whole big story about it, but there's a couple people that I watched on YouTube a while back, and they don't make many videos now. And it's Rika from, and I'm just gonna screw up the House of Stitch and Stash, I think is the name. Rika, you know who you are. But she makes the beautiful bags. But I was so excited to meet her in person because I just think she's a classy lady, and I love her stitching. And so that was awesome. And then the other person was Rocio. I'm saying your name so bad. Kokahama Stitchery. I don't think she makes very many videos now. She may post on Instagram because I think, you know, she lived like in the Bahamas maybe, or someplace like that, and then moved to somewhere in Texas. I can't remember where. And I think she started working again. So it was just, I don't know, I started watching her videos when she first started making them, and I just thought she was so cute. She reminds me of my daughter-in-law. I don't have daughters, but I do have a daughter-in-law, you know, probably around the same age, maybe, I don't know how old she is. I haven't asked, but she seems like she might be in her late 20s or early 30s. But anyway, she's just a cute little girl. I could say little girl. She's a cute young woman, and has a really great personality. I was excited to see her in person. And then the table that I sat at, I met 4 totally new people. Well, not totally new people, but it was the first time I saw any of them in person. One of them I talked to on Instagram, and we just happened to end up sitting at the same table, which was exciting. And that was Erla. I cannot say her name, but she's from Iceland, and the way it's spelled is like E-R-L-A, and the way it's pronounced is something totally different. It sounds way more beautiful, and I just put this like rednecky country twang on it when I say it, and so it kind of became a joke. But I met her in person, and she's so sweet, and I was so excited to get to meet her. And she's funny, and just oh my gosh, I just, you know, these are some women that I just was so excited to meet. And then her friend Vina also from Iceland, who also I did not know until like the very end of the retreat that Vina, am I saying your name correctly? Vina? Okay, I'm sorry, but you know who you are. She is a model stitcher for Hands Across the Sea, and I did not know that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't know that. I've been sitting across the table talking to you and going out to dinner with you and had no idea. So it was just, they were just so nice and friendly and just interesting. I asked them a lot of stuff about Iceland the entire time. They're probably like, oh my gosh, like this girl needs to like get out of Georgia. Well, I did. I went to StitchCon. But yeah, it was nice to meet them. And then my other 2 table mates were the Stephanies from Texas. And I don't even know your last names. Vintage Sew Gal is one of them. She has a FlossTube and an Instagram. And then Stephanie and Stitches maybe is the other one that has an Instagram. Stephanie, do you have a YouTube also, or FlossTube? I don't know. I can't remember. If you do, then I need to find it. But I don't think anyway. So those gals, we went out to eat like pretty much, well, not every time, a few times. We went to the brewery across the street. We went to an Italian restaurant down the street. And it was just really nice to meet y'all. Really nice to meet. I don't even know if you're going to watch this video, but I just really enjoyed meeting some new people. And I feel like we'll be friends forever. So, and then that's it. and then I went home. StitchCon over. I don't know whether or not I'll go back. I may try to register and get a spot, but I don't know. I kind of, it was just a lot of people. 300 people is a lot. And I may seem, I don't know. I feel like I have like two personalities. Like sometimes I'll be like really outgoing, and then sometimes I just need to be by myself. And I even like slipped away from StitchCon one day and went to my room because I was staying at the Hyatt and took a nap. Just because I just had to like, I can be outgoing, but sometimes it takes a lot out of me. And then all of a sudden I'm like exhausted and I'm like, oh God, I gotta go refuel or something. So yeah, I mean, that's why I was glad that I was staying at the Hyatt, because I could, and I am not a late night stitcher, so that's why I did not stay at the linking to place, whatever. I went one time and I was there for like 30 minutes and I like hit a wall, because I am a early in the morning person. I go to bed pretty early, like 10:30, 11 usually. So, I mean, if I can like get done with StitchCon, come up to my room. I mean, yeah, this is just on a regular basis. And then I went up to my room. I was so tired from like talking and socializing all day. And I would just like get in bed and go to sleep, and I would be out. But it was fun. It was fun. Now, the reason, okay, so of course, this is my very first retreat. I started with a really big one. I think then the next one I go to, if I go to another one, maybe on a smaller scale, just so I can meet more people on a more, and actually get to know them, I guess, instead of just like, hi, just take a picture and then I don't know, I just kind of like want to like form a relationship. And I mean, I did, but even more so, I guess. So anyway, my first retreat, very excited about it, and I've done it. But one of the reasons why I wanted to go, and I don't know if I even talked about this before, is that I had a very good friend of mine pass away a little over a year ago. She was the very first person who I met where I live. She lived across the street from me. We've been friends for 20 plus years. Our children were in the same age group. She had 2 girls and I have 2 boys, but we had a lot of things in common. She was very outgoing and beautiful, and then she got cancer and passed away. All right, so I'm trying to get my mind on the right track. All right, so that event happened. Then I was getting my nails done, and I'm sitting in the pedicure chair, and I'm just sitting there, like loving life, getting a massage from the chair and everything. And these 2 ladies come in, and one of them is in a wheelchair and the other one is pushing her. And then they bring her over to the chair, and the nail techs are, helping her get into the chair because she just couldn't get into the chair by herself. I mean, she was a very pretty lady, but she just couldn't do it. She couldn't like move her limbs, or I didn't know what was wrong. So they get her into the chair, and you know, she had a hard time speaking and everything, but I was just really impressed by how comfortable the nail techs were with her. And just, you know, because they were just, it was like they knew her, you know, I mean, so I knew it wasn't just like some random person who had come in. They were familiar. And so later on, when we were by ourselves, I asked one of the girls who was doing one of the nail techs who works at the table right next to where I was sitting. We were in another room, and I said, you know, you really did well with that woman, you know, getting her in and out of the chair and everything. That takes a lot of strength, and I feel like you knew exactly what to do. Does she come in here a lot? And she's like, oh yes. A year and a half ago, she was just, you know, like you. I mean, she was healthy and fine, and then she was diagnosed with ALS. I believe that's what it's called. And then she just her health just declined so rapidly to where she got to the point where I think it was her sister-in-law that was helping her. It takes her everywhere. Or not everywhere, but places like the nail salon, you know. And I had just received that was in April, I think, April. I had just received a notification that I was accepted into the StitchCon group. And I had just been like, you know, I don't know if I want to go. I don't know if I want to go by myself, and I'll have to go by myself, and I don't want to fly by myself, and I don't want to stay by myself, and it's late, and everybody has their plans, and, you know, I was just a hem-haw, and I was just like, and I just knew that I was going to be like my typical self and be like, no, you're not going to go. It's too scary. You know, you don't need to spend that money, blah, blah, blah. So when that happened, I was just sitting there, and when I heard that story, all of a sudden, it was just like, I mean, I'm just going to say God just said, do it. Because it was just like, I heard it. I heard a do it. Don't be scared and do it. Because I can. Or, you know, and I was like, because I can do this. I do not know what's going to happen in the next year with my parents' health, with my health, with my husband's. I don't know, but I did know 2 months ahead of time, you know, chances are that everything's going to be okay, you know? And so, that's when I went home immediately, like paid my money, made a hotel reservation, and somehow I got into the Hyatt late, I guess because people had started canceling, you know, for other reasons. And did it, you know? And so my family and I'm talking a lot about this. I'm sorry. It's like 18 minutes but this is, you know, whatever. No one could believe that I was going to do this. Oh, my husband was just kind of proud of me. He's like, I can't believe you're going to go do this by yourself and like with people you don't know and stay by yourself. Because I've never like really even stayed in a hotel by myself. I've stayed in hotels a lot, but just not by myself. So, yeah, I mean, and then like when I was gone, my husband he'd call me during StitchCon and he'd be like, yeah, I told Jacob, that's the name of my youngest son, I told him you were at StitchCon, you went to StitchCon, and he was like, she went to what? And he's like, something called StitchCon, it's like a convention for cross stitchers, and he's like, what? And he's like, yeah, she just really wanted to go because you know how she loves to cross stitch. And he's like, and she went by herself? And he's like, yeah. And he said, and she flew by herself to a city she's never been to and stayed by herself. Because I guess they were so shocked. And he's like, yeah. And he's like, And I feel like they were a little bit impressed with their own mom. That I did something. And I started thinking, that's so sad that like I haven't really traveled by myself before, but I did it. So although I wanted to go, all that to say, although I really, really wanted to go to StitchCon because it was my first cross stitch retreat, I really, really wanted to do it just for me and to prove to myself that I could do it. And I did it. Anyway, so the other, if I go on another retreat, it won't be as scary. And you know, it's not scary. That was the retreat part I wasn't scared about. It was just the whole process leading up to it. Okay, so 20 minutes in, and I'm going to show you a little bit about tell you a little bit of my plans and what I am going to be doing in my next video. All right, so July was pretty much devoted to, well, I was out of town for like 10 days of it. Okay, so, but the rest of it was pretty much devoted to Christmas stuff, stitching on Christmas stuff. So I'm going to show you what I've been working on. I don't have before pictures. I'm just going to show you where I'm at now. Okay. And I'm going to have to stop this and go get all the stuff. So I'll be right back. Thank you for being patient and listening to my story. I appreciate it. And I'll be right back. Okay, so I did work on a couple of dimensions kits. And I worked on this one. Sorry about the reflection of my window, but this is from Dimensions, the Gold Collection. And it is a stocking that's called, the name of it's Holy Night. And this is where I'm at. So when I first started stitching it, I was like right around in here, and I just went up. And it actually went all the way up to the top of it and started stitching some of this gold metallic stuff, but I hated it, so anyway, I decided to stick with this part. And so it's kind of almost the length of the stocking. So that's that one. All right, this next one is also from Dimensions. It's called Christmas Cove. This is a big one. And this is, I haven't got very far on this one. I worked on it when I was at the beach some, because I actually started it a year ago at the beach. And I took it and worked, and I got a lot of like this, yeah, this roof done. So this is a big one. This might take me, I don't know, it's gonna take me a while. And I don't know, it's hard for me to stitch for some reason. I don't know why. I think it's because it's just, a lot of it's full coverage and I don't have like a gridded fabric. So who knows about that one, but I did work on it. And now I'm going to show you two more things. All right, this next one I actually worked on a little bit today, and it is from Cooler Design Studios. It's one of the nativity figures, and I have already done two, and the one that I'm doing right now is Baby Jesus, because these are all a lot of these are all nativity themed, aren't they? Is that just, okay. All right, and this is where I am on, oh, I just took the needle out of this one. That's where I am on Baby Jesus. It's not very big at all. I mean, like, you know, ends right there. But it has like a lot of colors. It's a lot of color changes. Anyway, I've done Baby Jesus almost, and then I have to back stitch around. And then Baby Jesus will be ready to send off to someone to make into a stand-up. Yeah, a little stand-up. A little, anyway, for my nativity. So got that one. And then I have one more, where is it? Oh, there it is. One more Christmas piece. I've worked on other things, but which maybe I'll get to if this isn't too long. But I have one more Christmas piece, I think. Yeah, that I've been working on. And then I'll show you a couple of other things that are not Christmas related that I've also worked on in July. Okay, 1 minute, 1 second. Okay, so this next one I worked on is a full coverage. It is called The Nativity. The artwork is by Donna Gelsinger, and it's charted from, Heaven and Earth Designs. Yeah, and this is what it looks like. It's a big one. It's supposed to be on 25 count fabric, which I'm stitching it on 19 inches wide by 15 3/4 inches high. And it has 89 colors. So, anyway, I had a little bit of it started, but I really kind of devoted like at least a week. Okay, so what I did is last week, my husband was out of town for Monday through Thursday. And I just stitched a lot. I even set a timer on my phone, and every time I sat down to stitch, I pressed go. And then when I get up, just when I stopped in any way or got up, I'd stop it. I ended up stitching I wanted to do 24 hours. So I was between Monday and Friday morning or Friday evening able to stitch 24 hours, and I stitched on this the entire time. And it's not gonna look like a lot. 24 hours doesn't look like much. That's it. Okay, so when I started, I think that I was just kind of right here. And so I've done a lot of this. Okay, so I changed the way that I'm stitching this. I was doing by the block and going up in a diagonal, okay? So, but then I discovered another method of madness. No, I'm surprised that it works for me. It's something called Royal Rose. And what you do is you stitch in this column, two squares equals a column. And you stitch the colors in there, and then you park either underneath it, in the column underneath it. So all of these are going to be hanging down like this. Or if there's nothing underneath it, you can go to the column or the tower is what they call it, the next one. Then when you end your threads, I skip a tower or go over. I'm not explaining this right, but my mind grasps it. And then also it's okay, so all these, let's just say these are in this next, say these are all in the next tower, okay? I start with the one that's lowest, because there's not going to be anything, the way I park it, it's not going to be anything above it. And so I just stitch it and then park it. And then so so the floss isn't getting in my way, I guess is what I'm saying. It's working for me, because my problem with parking is all the other floss is getting in my way. But this allows me one little section of 2 blocks anyway to focus on, and then I can end it in a certain place. And when I'm done with that thread or rain out or whatever. And it's just, I don't know, my mind is grasping it. So I'm going to continue it from now. But I also like that, you know, every time I finish a tower, I think that's what it's called. That's like the tower. That's like the dungeon. This is like the East Tower. I don't know this. But I feel like I'm completing something. It's like satisfies the I want to finish something. And I never like felt like going this way. Like it kept getting longer and longer. I never felt like it was complete until I went all the way down, and I just, whew. Anyway, so I stopped. I could go all the way across with this, oh, but hello, that's real. This is another project I decided to UFO, but I'm just doing, this is like a little bit more than 2 page. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm stopping in the Q snap. I'm doing it within the Q snap. And then I may put this into a frame. I did order one that's supposed to fit the whole thing, but I don't know if I'm gonna like that. I might try it and see. But for now, I'm just doing the area that's in the Q snap. I gotta catch, this is, don't ignore this, because this is me trying to correct it, everything. Eventually, it's gonna all be over here. I just have to fill in like these random ones right here, which I'm doing. It's fine, everything's good. Okay, so that is so far, it's a tree, and I feel like when I get down into this section over here is gonna be a person, a wise man maybe. Eventually, I will get done with this freaking palm tree, which I feel like I've been working on for a long time. It's gonna be a long video, but I haven't made one in a long time, so I will. Okay, before I get up, I'm going to unpause this. Okay, so also I've been working on a couple of other things. I started this Nora Corbett. It's called Electra. And this is my very first fancy lady. So there's a sale going on. That's why I started it. I think it was started by Bobby from Pumpkin Creek Primitives, but I'm not sure. But anyway, this is where I bought the chart from her, and I think she started posting the hashtag Virgin Fancy Lady Sal. And so I started this, and this is where I'm at. Look at those colors. Aren't they pretty? Okay, so this fabric is the called for fabric, which I was not sure about. See? Well, it's upside down. It's called, it's on 32 count milk chocolate. I ordered it from 123 Stitch along with the floss. And I think the colors are showing up very well on this fabric. So I'm happy with it so far. I did that in like 2 days. 2 days of working on it. So that's hashtag Virgin Fancy Lady Sale. And that's the hashtag you follow. And I have one more thing to show you that I've been working on. I should put this on my Instagram, but you might not have seen it. This is my huge sampler from Exemplars from the Heart. It is called And They Send. Let's just take a closer look here. Do you see how big it is? I feel like that's a page, that's a page, no. I feel like there's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 big sections. Okay, so let me show you where I'm at. I'm right here. That part. All that to go. Oh my gosh. Okay, so here it is. And I don't remember the name of this fabric, but it's 36 count, and I'm using Vicky Clayton silk with 1/2. 1/2, yeah. And I think it looks pretty good so far. This, I've been working on this. I worked on this for a while yesterday. This is like a ginormous cloud. I guess it's a cloud. It's this. I think that's a cloud, but it has sun. What is in there? Some suns and some birds. I don't know what it is. It looks like a cloud, okay? So I'm working on this, and that's gonna take me a while. And then my friend Erla pointed out all the grass that was down here. That'll also take me forever, but I'm gonna be a while before I get to that part. So that's And They Send. And there it is again. That's it. I think that's it. I've worked on other things, but right now I'm gonna keep the video. I'm not gonna make it any longer than it is. Again, thank you for watching and listening to my story at the beginning. Now, my plans for August. I can't believe that it's almost August. First of all, I'm going to do a whip parade. I'm going to show you every single thing that I have going on, every single project that I started. And it may be a long one, or it might be divided up into like 3 different pieces, videos, but I am going to do it. And in August, I think I'm going to work on Halloween stuff. I don't know what I'm going to do in August, to be honest with you. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'm going to have plans. I think I might I want to work more on this, the And They Send. I did decide that I want to work on the projects that I actually have all the floss for. There's a couple of them that I've ordered and I have all the floss because I ordered it. But a lot of the ones that I've started, I was pulling from other projects, and I just feel like I don't know what is what. So I feel like I just want to concentrate. Like I know I have all the floss for And They Send because it's the silk floss. There's a couple of other samplers. I know I have all the floss because I've pulled those out already. The full coverage I'm working on. I know I have all the floss for that. Oh, I have another full coverage I forgot to show you. I'm gonna find it and show you, hold on. Okay, so this one I started right before I went to the beach, and I worked on it a lot while I was at the beach. It is, oh gosh, do I have it on my phone? Let me look real quick. Hold on. Okay, so the story behind this is that when I was at StitchCon, I decided to take some time and walk around to as many tables as I could and just look and see what everyone was working on. And there were some beautiful pieces, but there was one pattern that caught my eye because I was like, oh, like I have to do that because it's one of these TV shows that was like one of my very favorite series to watch. And also my sons loved it. And he's the one who got me hooked on it. And then once I was hooked, I tried to get everybody else hooked on it. But it is called Breaking Bad. Have y'all heard of it? Breaking Bad? Okay. So I don't remember. It was a table kind of in the front, towards the front, over on the, anyway. I don't know who it was that had this pattern, but I got the information from her. I was like, I need that pattern. I need to do it. And I need to do it now or soon. So she gave it to me. I looked it up and I purchased it. And it is called what is it called? Heisenberg which I call Walter White. Can you see? Okay. It is not a very big pattern at all. So I started doing it, and this is where I'm at. Okay, so I'm getting, so it's not big because I think I only have like one more square over here, and that's the entire length or width of the piece, and then it'll go down here. Okay, so I was doing it at the beach, and I hadn't really gotten to this part yet. I got, I think, like to right there. And so I was showing, I could hold it up to my husband, and I was holding it up to both my boys who were there on vacation. I was like, what do you think this is? And then some of them were like, it's a mountain with, you know, and then it was, I don't know, their guesses were hilarious. And then I showed them the mock-up, and they're like, oh my gosh, that's awesome. So now, then I did part of the eye, which I don't know if they would have been able to guess even with that eye done, but maybe a little bit more. But like the glasses haven't been finished yet, so I think I'm working on those too. Anyway, this is on 14, how many strands was this using? Okay, it's 14 count Aida. It's like that oatmeal stuff. You get or I had an extra piece because the pattern calls for that, and I want it to be like a decent size. But I'm also using 3 strands of floss when I stitch it, and I think there's only like 6 colors or something. It's a very low amount of colors. How many colors? Yeah, like 1, 2, 3, 10 colors, and they're all like grays, blacks, a white, whatever. Yeah, so that is something else that I worked on in July. And now oh yeah, so what I was saying before is that I want to show you everything, like all my projects, cross stitch, beaded cross stitch. I mean, just anything that I've started, it's all in this closet, like all of it. So I'm just gonna grab stuff out and like just show it as it comes up. And yeah, I won't have pictures for them or anything. Well, no, I'll try to find the picture before when I pull it out, I'll try to find it, but yeah, that's gonna be a video like that. I hope that's something that you'd be interested in, but I think I'm going to do that. And then, I don't know what my plans are for in August. I think that I wanna stitch on Halloween stuff. I wanna work on my Virgin Fancy Lady, Sal, Electra. I've got one from Autumn Lane Stitchery that I would like to work on. I've got another one that started, gosh, like 2 or more years ago, Haunted Mansion, that I want to work on. And I think that's it. I don't know, I've got other Halloween stuff too that I've worked on, so that or needs to be worked on, so I'm going to do that. All right, y'all, this is too long already, I'm sorry. All right, bye, I'll see you later.